Hi there, everyone. This is Marcus K. Dowling. I'm a contributor with the Washington Informer Bridge, and this is a special episode of BridgeTV. We're in the midst currently of, actually, we're starting the State of the Black Millennial Month. We're having conversations all this month regarding it's a partnership with Verizon, and we're having conversations regarding community thought leaders discussing racial equity in the District of Columbia across economics, employment, education, health, housing, criminal justice, and civic participation. Today's conversation is especially dealing with civic participation. Charles Gussum Jr. is the co-founder of WeFit DC. He's the assistant director of community development at Martha's Table, and he's the vice president of community connoisseurs. He's a multi-hyphenate, and he is very involved in the progression of community development issues in the nation's capital. So I'd like to pull him in. Lafayette, if you can make that happen. Charles, what's going on, man?
Hey, Marcus, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. So I gave your introduction. I'm happy to have you here. And if you can explain to me out of the gate, what made you want to be so involved in your community as a young African-American person?
Well, that's a great question, Marcus. And again, thank you, WeBridge, for having me. Thank you, Marcus, for hosting me. Thank you, Lafayette, for the invite. And this is Denise Barnes for having me as well, and the whole WeBridge and Washington Informer team. So a part of it made me want to get more active in my community and do the work that I'm currently doing. It's been at one point in my life being a product of my environment and enduring some of the trials and tribulations that growing up in a poverty-stricken community, pertains. So that was part of what, motivated me. I was able to do a lot of great things in my community, connect with a lot of great individuals. I have phenomenal mentors, and just understanding some of the struggles that you deal with when you're growing up in these communities, and wanting to be a subject of change, wanting to be someone that can support my community, influence individuals, allowing them to know that there is another way, even if you grow up in certain environments, and just be a source of hope and inspiration.
Right. So I wanted to ask you about the need for essential services. So you deal in things like community health and fitness and community services with Martha's Table, and just being able to make sure that your community is properly taken care of. Thoughts about how you came to that, because that's something that most people say is the best way to do it, but it takes some time usually to get to that point. So how did you get it just straight out of the gate?
Yeah, I mean, with me, my story is a little organic. Again, growing up in the environments, you're a part of some of the you're directly impacted by some of the issues that are in your community. Observing friends, family that are dealing with some of the disparities that are in our wards, particularly Ward 8. I was raised at Ward 8.
And I'm just Ward 7 guy myself, so I understand.
So you understand. So it was directly personal to me, and it was just a decision that I made. It was no blueprint. It was just identifying a problem and identifying within myself that I can be a part of the solution. I'm very solution oriented. I'm not the type that sit back and watch a problem and become dependent on something or any system to be created to support me. So I felt as though I was one of the better corporates to do some of the work that I'm doing in my community. And it's also just having a team of like-minded individuals. Like you mentioned, I have a nonprofit, Community Connoisseurs, where I have a great team of individuals who come from similar upbringings that I've come from, native Washingtonians. Also with WeFit DC, a lot of Washingtonians that are a part of that movement as well. And then at Martha's Table, I have a phenomenal team of great individuals who have the passion, the love for the community, and the drive to implement the work that we're doing.
Right. So yeah, definitely. So as far as being able to take something that you have as a passion project and turn it into a professional avocation, thoughts about that? Because that's kind of the dream scenario. I love to write. I'm a professional writer. So as far as like, being able to do that, like, I think that's the
Yeah.
ideal. How are you able to achieve that? And was that something that was always the plan?
Yeah, again, it was an evolving plan. I always wanted to help. I knew that I've always wanted to. I've always been a person that wanted to support and help others. So once I was old enough to realize some of the things that were happening and directly impacting my community, and understanding some of the systematic things that were in place that were causing some of these issues, the lack of resources, and things of that nature, I just made a decision. I just said, we have to do something about this. And the best way that we can do something about some of the problems that are inside of our community is organizing. So it was just a matter of getting together with, like I mentioned before, like-minded individuals who have the same passions that I have for the community, and creating businesses, creating nonprofit organizations, creating platforms where we can inspire, where we can educate, and we can make sure that we're creating a pipeline towards sustainability in our community. So it's just started with a decision. There was there was no formal blueprint or anything. It was just a matter of me making up my mind that I wanted to do something that I had in my core, along with great partners, along with great friends that helped along the journey, and just doing it. I feel like a lot of times people have ideas that they want to do to help their current situations or their current communities or the communities that they grew up in, or if they didn't have to necessarily grow up in the community. They just see a problem that they don't agree with, or they see a need that needs to be met within any environment. I feel like it's just a matter of taking that leap of faith, connecting with like-minded individuals, and doing what you have to do to place your imprint on the work that you want to do.
Right. So I'm a believer in the notion that because of the coronavirus situation, that more people need to have this idea of having that bootstrapped mentality of like, okay, the government's not necessarily going to do something for us, and maybe like the community leaders that are existing are going to do something for us.
Yeah.
So let's do something ourselves. Your
Right.
thoughts about that, and do you expect that to be something that's going to aid your development in the next 6 to 18 months?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're all we got. I mean, I feel like we've been rocked to sleep for years as a community, and it's time for us to, like you mentioned, strap up our boots and get busy. Um, you know, it's a lot of things that's going on that's, I feel like the pandemic has made very relevant to people. In fact, I think during this pandemic, I think people are more enlightened on things and systems, more so than they ever have been, because it gave people the time to sit back and observe. So I think it's inspiring people to want to do more, even more than ever. So if you have that thought in your mind that you want to get acclimated with an organization, or you want to create your own movement or organization, I think the time is now to do it. And it's not hard to do. It's just a matter of doing your research, connecting with individuals or like-minded individuals or organizations that suit your vision, and get busy. Again, the time is now to really get active, and really to start organizing within our communities. And if you see a problem, be a part of the solution. Every day, we're blessed with another day to inspire, to create, to motivate, to plan and organize. So I think the time is now to use the gifts that you were blessed with, and that you still have the capabilities to use, if you're in a position where you are able to use them, to start doing what you ideally want to do within your community. So let's just get busy.
Right. So, as somebody who works in three different, organizations, what would you consider to be some of the things that people can do directly? Because it's one thing to say, get out and be active, but I
Yeah.
want to make this a direct appeal so that we get people to actually do a thing that, will actually change somebody's life.
Yeah.
Thoughts about what are the exact areas that would be best served by having people directly engaging in action right now?
Um, I mean, it's a lot of different. It's a variety of
Give me
areas.
like two or three, man. Let's keep it narrow.
Yeah, it's a variety of areas. We're still dealing with extreme poverty. You know, with everything that's going on with society in general. In regards to the activities that are going on with in regards to just the protesting and things that are going on. It's a lack of mentorship, in our communities and underserved communities. I feel like that's area that is lacking.
Yeah. Are you a mentor?
Yes, I
How
am. I
many
am.
how many how many how many kids are you mentoring right now?
I'm mentoring 3 individuals.
Phenomenal.
one
That's what I
one
like to
youth
hear.
and 2 older adults. But the lack of mentorship in our communities. I mean, a lot of people who have credentials and have experiences and have knowledge in certain areas that can be an inspiration or be of service to a youth that may need that guidance, that may need that extra push. Definitely, mentorship is a huge area. To focus on, and just health and wellness. You know what I mean? Just understanding we're going through a pandemic where in my area in particular we had the most deaths. So
Yes, you do.
just giving individuals the resources, providing the resources and the understanding on not only you know the importance of it, but educating people on how to implement it in their lives. And that's a lot of what we do with We Fit DC, with community connoisseurs, and with Martha's Table. We're not only focused on the health and wellness aspect of things, we're also the distribution part, the lack of access parts, where you can come and you can receive fruits and vegetables, or you can come and receive workouts, or you can come and receive dialogues on specific things. We're focused on the education piece because we want to make sure that the people that are in our communities right now can stay in our communities and sustain themselves and their families. So those are some of the areas I think that people can definitely lean in. And of course, social justice is huge
Right.
in these times. So,
Right. So I guess for my final question, I want to ask you, what is the greatest personal benefit to leading a life of community service?
I mean, it's just it's a selfless endeavor. You know what I mean? So being able to sacrifice yourself for the better good of humanity is huge. I personally think that's what fuels me. Um, the gifts are abundant, just from being able to, be of service to others. I think that, manifests so many other things in your life, from a divine space and a divine place. So when you're sacrificing a little bit of yourself for others, just the gifts are abundant, the internal gifts, the vision, the clarity that comes with doing the type of work that you do, and just also the connectiveness. Being able to have an understanding of individual situations. Having those conversations and learning more about what's going on in your community in a authentic and secure manner, building trust with individuals in your community, building trust with different, organizations and people doing work in the field of work that you're doing as well, and connecting the dots on ways that you can work and impact your community collectively. So it's a lot of different ways, a lot of different great things that comes with serving your community. And I'm just honored and grateful to be able to be in a position to be doing some of the work.
Right. So I want to, give you some space to be able to, do the run of all the social media spaces where people can find you, find out information
Yeah.
for you, and they can get in touch and they can be of assistance to what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. So my personal Instagram is at Charlie Gussum Jr. on Instagram, Charles Gussum Jr. on Facebook. Also follow at Martha's Table. Also follow at We Fit DC. Also follow at community_connoisseurs. And we have a lot of great things coming up. We actually at Martha's Table have on October the 17th, we have a pop-up clothing pop-up that is going to be organized by our Martha's Outfitters location, October the 17th at 2 o'clock. Please come by and shop at no cost for a lot of great varieties of clothes. We're going to have a workout with We Fit DC incorporated with that. Also, Community Connoisseurs has a food distribution going on in the Woodland Terrace community on October the 24th. And this Saturday, free workouts at 920 11th Street Southeast from 10 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. And then we're right back at it with a free no-cost workout at 3921 South Capitol Street, Southeast as well. So we got a lot going on. Follow those platforms, and you'll see all of the updates of upcoming events and things that we have going on in our community.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I'll let you get back to work because you got a lot going on.
Absolutely.
So, and I love all the photos behind you. I want to give you a shout out on that.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
So, I appreciate
Thank you.
No problem, man. Definitely.
All right. Have a great.
Absolutely. So thanks everybody for tuning in to BridgeTV today. This is again the first of conversations you'll be hearing all month long about the state of the Black millennial. We had a conversation today in regards to civic participation. There will be numerous other conversations on other topics. So thank you so much for your time. Again, this has been Marcus K. Dowling for BridgeTV.